Welcome to Butch's Building Blocks. Today we're going to take some geometric patterns, we're going to put them together, we're going to build ourselves a beautiful cutting board. This is a small piece of the pattern that I've built. This part of the wood is going to be face grain, the rest of the cutting board is going to be edge grain. So come along with me, I'll give you all the dimensions and all the tips you need in order to create this beautiful cutting board. These are the three different geometric patterns that we're going to be making with their dimensions. Notice that this side length here is 1 1/16 inch, which matches the side length here, which also matches the side length there. Those are important because we're going to be matching them up, and if those lengths aren't the same, then you won't get a good tight fit. All of my angles are 45 degrees, so that should make things easy. The length, 3 1/8. This one is 1 9/16, 2 1/8, and again 1 9/16. The first cut we need to make is our block with the 3 1/8 inch length on the sides. So I've set my stop block at 2 3/16 of an inch. So when we do our final cut, it will give us a length here of 3 1/8 of an inch. Our next cut is going to be from Osage orange. I've preset the fence here for 1 1/16 of an inch. That's the height of the triangle that we need to cut out. My stop block has been set 1 9/16 of an inch from the inside of that tooth, which will give us the triangle that we need. Here's the pre-glue up pattern that I've put in place just to make sure everything fits really well. Here's all of our cut pieces. We have 12 of the Osage orange large triangles, 6 red zebra, 7 hard maple, and 12 more of the smaller red zebra. Okay, let's put this together and see what we come up with. Now that we have our pattern set, I made 2 simple 90-degree angle glue jigs to help us out. So we're going to take this piece here and glue it together. And then we're going to take this piece and glue it together. And we're just going to simply clamp them together until the glue hardens. We'll call this our first piece. We're going to end up cutting this off. This is going to be the end of our board. So after you've glued this up, place it back here. The second piece, which we've glued, needs to have this piece attached like at this angle. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, rotate it over, put it in there, and then clamp us in place. And I've made a little block jig here that will help keep it in line while it's drying. This is what it looks like when it's clamped in place. We just let it sit there for 15 minutes or so and it'll be solid enough that we can take it off. After gluing up the center section here, you should have 6 glued up pieces. Now for our next portion of the glue up, we're going to take a pair of these, clamp them across, glue them together. So we'll have three pairs to glue up. Once those are glued up, we'll add that section, give it some time to dry. We'll add that section and then we'll be done with the center spiral. The whole center section is glued together. Our next piece is to put in our triangles. These are simple clamps across each side and let them dry. Our center section is now completely glued up. Given that we had to glue it so many pieces together, there are some highs and lows. So I'm going to take this over to my drum sander and sand it down until it's a uniform smoothness on both sides. I ran our composite block through the drum sander multiple times. It's now smooth on both sides. It's currently at 0.97 inches in thickness and 3.23 inches in width. I brought it over onto my table saw sled, and now all of my sides are parallel and our corners are at 90 degrees. We finished our core section of our board. We need to expand it into a good cutting board size. I have some maple cutoffs. I have red zebra cutoff to start it off. We'll duplicate that on the other side to keep it nice and balanced. Now we need to put an accent piece in there. Nice Paduke. A little more red zebra wood onto it. And last, to give it its final outer coating, wenge. I think the dark wood will accent these darker stripes and just give it a little more pop to it. And for our glue up, we have to remember to glue the face grain because we want the edge grain to be showing. I'll add a few more clamps and we'll let this sit for a while. The glue up's completed. I took some 60 grit sandpaper, got the majority of the glue off before I run it through my drum sander. A few pieces here are proud, will have to come down, but other than that, it's pretty good. Through the drum sander, and now everything is of equal height. There's nothing proud no longer. Now it's time to square up these edges on my table saw sled. So far it's looking really good. All we have to do is put that last wraparound of wenge on it. We're ready to put our wenge border on it. I've already cut these ends to 45 degrees. When gluing up corners, or when gluing up edging, you glue this surface. Do not glue that corner, that miter. If you glue the miter, it has a higher chance of cracking. If you've done this correctly, it'll fit in there without any gap. Leave that corner open. We're going to put a spline in there later on anyways. I've applied all four sides. The miters have come out perfect. It's looking spectacular. Almost can't wait to put the oil on it. Now it's time to add some cutting board oil and see what it looks like. Here's our spiral cutting board in its final form. It's been oiled several times and polished. It looks magnificent. The spiral gives you a nice three-dimensional look, and the black wenge on the outside almost acts as if it's a picture frame. This is a beautiful piece of work. I hope you've enjoyed watching me build it, and I hope that there's sufficient information in here so that you too can build it at home. If you like the work I do, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.